Soccer is by far the most popular sport in the world, well, every part of the world except America. The FIFA World Cup is one of the most watched sporting events in the entire world, every part of the world except America. So what does America have against soccer? That's what we'll be discussing on today's AngelDodger. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Daniel Fola. I have previously done work with Raphael. It's a pleasure to be back. It's always a pleasure doing this.
It's your third time here.
Third, yeah, it is the third. And it's been a few years. So
yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Alright, well, what attracted you to soccer?
Well, it's almost kind of in my blood. Like, my parents are Brazilian immigrants, and there it's a religion. Essentially what it was is always running around. I love running around, and that's the perfect sport to do that, soccer. And kicking a ball. Like, to me, football, baseball, they were a little too slow of sports for me with the constant stopping and starting. Even basketball, which has more action than both of those, still stops a lot. Soccer I like is you just keep going and going and going, and there's only one break.
So why do you think soccer is more popular in other countries?
Well, because Americans suck at it. It's just there's never been a tradition for soccer here, and basically this country, we Americans, we don't like what we're not good at.
I think one of the reasons why soccer isn't that popular has something to do with the fact that there's not that much scoring in it. Like in the big four sports, I'd say, which is hockey. Hockey, first off, is not that popular, and the scoring on those games is pretty low.
Yeah.
Baseball, which is another big four sport, is considered, I guess, the second most popular sport, but it's on the decline, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's a slow-paced game. Some games can be very low-scoring at first, but with basketball and football, the other two big four sports, the games can get pretty high in terms of scoring, and there's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, but the thing with soccer, see, back in the day, soccer used to be very high scoring. Soccer used to be very attacking. It was all about attack, 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 pound the opponent's goals, take as many shots as possible and score. But nowadays it's become a lot more defensive. The fitness comes into play, so it's not, you can't just run by guys anymore because the other guys you're going up against are fit as fuck.
I just feel like it all comes down to the fact that it's just a low-scoring game, and it feels like from the field standpoint, it's a slow pace. And there's not just drama with the players, but with the announcers. They're like, "Oh my God, they're coming up so close to the goal and then miss." From what I know about UEFA, I believe that certain teams can be moved down to lower ranks if they don't compete. As well. Maybe it's a matter of taking that idea and embracing that in the leagues that we have now, because that's not something that Americans have in their own leagues. Like, for example, the Yankees are always going to be in Major League Baseball at the highest level. For basketball, the Boston Celtics and the Lakers are always going to be at the highest level. They're never going to move down. So maybe it's a matter of adapting, not necessarily the sport, but certain elements of that sport. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, dude. You just touched on a really good topic. I just realized that you're right, there is no relegation in MLS. That's also a thing too. And there are divisions of soccer here. There's first, there's second, there's third, there's fourth. I play in fourth division soccer here. That's the thing, you can't move up. You can play each other in the US Open Cup, so you can end up playing professional teams. Like fourth division, third division teams can end up playing MLS and second division and ASL. But like you said, you're right, there's no relegation or promotion. So there's also no incentive there. Yeah, you're right, it's a kind of wacky system. And then they do the whole playoffs thing, which is very American. That's an American concept because no fucking buddy in UEFA does that.
Yeah, it's like a round robin tournament.
Yeah, they do like MLS Cup and MLS playoffs. That doesn't exist in UEFA. UEFA, there's the domestic cup and the league title. Those are the two things you're fighting for. Not playoffs, like the whole playoff structure. So yeah, MLS kind of flipped everything on its head, and you just touched a good point. I just realized there is no relegation promotion. I feel like if they introduce that, there'll be a lot more competition. Soccer here will be a lot more competitive. And that's also the thing, soccer doesn't pay nearly enough. So maybe, from an economic and socioeconomic standpoint, if you're a kid growing up and saying, well, I can play soccer, play basketball, but soccer, MLS starting salary is like 30, 40,000. Whereas if you're in the NBA or the MLB, you're making at least a couple hundred, then you make the big millions.
It's got to be something more than that, though. Yeah. It's got to be, I guess, a type of culture.
Yeah, well, Americans, they're not good at it, so then it's, oh, fucking soccer, who cares? We got other sports going on. And I guess there's also no big-name American players. That's probably also, because I feel like if one guy went to Europe and became a superstar, then a lot more interest, a lot more buzz will be generated towards the sport of soccer here.
Do you feel like soccer is becoming more popular in America? And if so, will it ever become a major sport?
Yes, it is. Yes to the first one, yeah, yes to both, because it is growing now. I feel like they finally tapped a market, and they see the potential in soccer, because like I said, all the offspring of immigrants play soccer. All those people from different countries coming into this country who were born with parents from different countries are into soccer. So it's expanding its audience, and yeah, I definitely feel like in the next generation, yeah, it'll
20
be
years.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'll definitely be a big sport here. Shout out, I also have a YouTube channel.
Oh yes, promote your channel.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
youtube.com/dtamafo. It's my name, kind of abbreviated. DTAMAFO. I'm sure Rafa will put a link on the video.
In the description, yeah.
I'm more rap based. I put out music, but I also like doing stuff like this, so check out my stuff.
Anyways, yeah, thank you for showing up today.
No problem, man. It's always a pleasure doing this, like I said.
Yeah, and I'm AngelDodger, and I will see you next time.